Hi, this is Greg at Pensacola, Florida. I'd like to welcome you to a YouTube channel. Tonight, this is going to be the third video in the Z1 Design Precinct 187 Kickstarter. And today we're going to take a look at the Docklands, and we're also going to take a look at the fishing boat, and what I'm calling the big boat, because that's what I named it when I saved the folder on there. But so we've done two videos so far in the Z1 series, and both videos have gone over really well. And so far, out of everything I've printed, this by far is the best. I mean, this thing looks awesome sitting on the table. I'm not sure how the scale of this is coming across in the video, but this is like a 2 foot by 3 foot mat that it's sitting on, and so I can slide it around my table without it all coming apart. So it is huge. And just to give you a scale reference, I'll put these out here, then we'll talk a little bit about it. Yeah, I've been using these snipers through all my video series just as a reference of scale, and these are 28 millimeter gaming figures. So if you're into a miniature-based RPG, a miniature-based wargaming, or just a miniatures-based gaming system, and it's around the 28 mil scale, these are what these figures are going to look like on this board. And this board is huge, and it is awesome, and it takes a while to print. I probably have about 250 hours here in print time, maybe a little less. A majority of the time is on the C tiles that are down there below, because there's 4 tiles that of those blue tiles on each row, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, so there's 24 tiles right there. There's an entire kilogram of filament in the water itself, and that effect that's on the water, the filament I used on the water is the eSun, just a regular PLA, and I think it's called glass blue or translucent blue. It's one of those. They only have one type that's kind of the see-through, and for some reason I'm thinking they call it glass, but that may be another manufacturer. But that is definitely eSun, either glass or translucent blue. And so the top of it almost looks like it has little white caps, and so it's a really cool effect when it's sitting there on the table. Next thing we'll look at is the small fishing boat right here. It's the first boat I printed out of it's the first thing I printed of this Docklands area, and I was super impressed. The boats, they sit down in their own little recesses on the board, but if you take a look at this boat, it's got the bumpers on the side. You know, it's got the 1-inch hexes on there. The mast comes off, so I pulled the mast off so you can see that. And then here's the front. So this is a great little piece by itself. And then I printed the water, and I got done with the water, and I started working on the boardwalk and the piers that are out there, because this is what the building's all attached to. This is actually elevated up probably about 3 inches, because if you look where my hands are right now between these two buildings, there's actually ramps right here that come down, and this is where the rest of the city, if you look at my video 2, where I had the basketball courts and the construction yard and the L train on there, this is where all that is going to click up into. So there's actually an elevated level here where the pier and the dock is, and then the boat. And then of course you've got the warehouses right here that these doors work and stuff like that. And you know, just like all the rest of the designs, the roofs come off, so they're modular, so you can pick them up and you can put stuff on the inside of these buildings and things like that. But this is a super impressive build. And then I got to print the big boat, and this boat is absolutely off the chain right here. Yeah, this thing is huge. If I pick this up, I mean, look at the size of this thing. I have my camera pulled back like 2 feet extra from my desk where I shoot these videos, just so I can get this whole thing into scene. So, I mean, this is big. My hands are that, you know, they don't even fit in frame. It's that wide this boat is on there. So this is a absolutely awesome piece. You know, I would buy the whole Docklands for that piece itself. So like I said, it takes a while to print. There's probably just shy of 3 kilograms of filament here. There's that. I know for a fact it took a whole roll for the water. The brown, I'm sure, is a roll, at least a roll, maybe just a little bit more. And then the gray was not quite a roll. Both those pieces are really filament efficient. The whole prints in 6 pieces on the large boat, and then you got 2 pieces in the middle, and then the cabin pieces are really quick and easy to print itself. But it's an impressive piece. Printing Z1 designs, buildings, or from the first video to this third video, has been an absolute joy, and everything just works. You don't need any support on the prints. They all lock together. Everything looks good. The details, the accuracy, he keeps adding stuff. And then if you own the Z1 stuff, you need to be part of the Z1 face group, because there are guys in there that are adding tweaks and releasing extra files, to go with your normal builds that are absolutely incredible themselves on there. You can get some great painting looks from the people in there and stuff. But definitely, if you're not part of the Z1 design group on Facebook, send an invite, get an invite to that group. It's well worth it to see what the guys and gals are doing in there. So, but this is the third video in the series. This will be the last for this Kickstarter. This will be the last video of just dedicated. I still got more buildings to print, but I'm going to start integrating those back into my Made on Makergear series. So we're going to have maybe a building by Z1, some couple things by Printable Scenery, maybe another building by War Layer, to kind of spread it out a little bit instead of the huge focus videos for right now until his next Kickstarter launches. That way we can mix it up a little bit and just keep a bunch of fresh content moving through the channel. It's been a little bit since the video came out. I had a Kickstarter video that came out before this one. That was with a friend of mine that put up a Kickstarter, so I did do a preview video for that. This came out after that, and then after this video, I have another printer in the office now. It's a Makergear M2. So now I have double the print capacity, and so that's going to come and benefit getting more terrain printed, being able to do more projects, being able to talk to more designers and do more stuff. I also have, for all the subscribers I picked up from the Moai laser resin printer, tons of stuff coming for that too. That just takes a little longer, and I was working on that Kickstarter for the last month with that other person, with Eric, and so it's been busy. But now I'm collecting files up to print to that, so hopefully we get on a nice, I'd like to say every 7 to 10 days max, we're putting out a new video with some new terrain and some new things that I find out there, things that designers may want to send that put on the channel, just a few prints of this and that. Those will go right into the Made on Makergear series. But for the Z1, the late pledges are over. So you can go to his website, and there'll be a link down in the show notes to directly purchase the files now. So it should be out, or within days of this video going up, it should be ready to go. He said we were within 2 weeks of it should be live. So if it's not live when this video's out, definitely go back, because John's killing it in this Kickstarter, and I cannot wait to see the fantasy range that he comes out with. Just cannot wait to see the fantasy range. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, I mean, it's been an absolute joy to print this stuff. I've really enjoyed it. He's been great to communicate with. Great guy. He answers people on the forums. I had no idea that this even existed until guy in Crestview asked me if I could print a house for him, because he was waiting on his 3D printer. And I said, sure. And I saw it. And it's the first time that, I shot an email off to a designer and said, hey, I really like what you got. Can I get some of the files and put them up on the channel? And he sent me all the files. So I do really, really appreciate that. And looking forward to seeing what you got next. And so again, Z1 Design's website, you can buy all this stuff. I mean, it speaks for it. So I can just let the video run basically and shut up. And you can see how good this looks. I mean, it really, the scale of this large ship, you know, RPG, modern war game, modern miniature game, any type of miniature game, you know, if you want a game on this type of board. And I said before, and I will do this at some point, when I get more of the buildings built, we'll bring this out onto one of my big 4x8 tables, and we'll put the whole Z1 lineup down at once so you can see how big the 187, the Precinct 187 Kickstarter is. And we'll move around it with a camera out there and talk about each building. But for tonight, for the subscribers that have been subscribers, I appreciate you sticking around. Like the video, go ahead and share it out. If you're new here, please subscribe, and I'll try to keep the regular content coming. And if you're a designer and you want to see some of your work pop up on the channel here and there, just shoot me an email. We can talk about what you got and get a slot for you. So thanks again, and I really do appreciate you guys watching. The subscriber count on the channel is actually rising really nice between each video. So I like the fact that if you're new here, maybe you haven't seen video 1 and 2 of this, because in video 1 I go through and actually build a couple of these buildings in a time lapse. So if you want to see how good these things go together, check out that video. A link will be at the end of this video that'll take you to that. And definitely check out the second video, because I have more buildings. I have the tenement building in there and some other stuff. So again, thanks for watching, and look forward to showing you guys some more great terrain soon.